Hi, this is Sugar Shane Mosley, and you're watching True School Sports.
All right.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, wanted to really get this out there before I get my day started because this became a really prominent subject in our live fight reaction last night as the Janibek versus Denzel Bentley fight progressed. Now, I have a lot of people that like Demetrius Andrade on my channel because I like Demetrius Andrade, you know, and I've went very hard for him in the past, defending him and asking promoters to tough questions, pressing Canelo Alvarez in real life. You know, I've done all kinds of things just to try to, you know, fight the good fight and do what I thought was right for Andrade at the time, because you know he has gotten kind of like by boxing media he's been the brunt of a lot of jokes, but he's a great talent, right? And I can definitely still say that he's one of the most talented fighters in boxing. But this whole situation this year with Janibek and Zach Parker this year, like, it's undefendable. Like, if you're out here still defending him, then you're part of the problem of what's going on in boxing, straight up. Because truth be told, if you want to call a spade, the Zone overpaid Andrade for many, many years. He was getting paid more than what his market value really was, and God bless him. He got the money, secured the bag. You know, he can live a great life after boxing. He's not hurting for money out here, so I'm happy for him. God bless him. But at the same time, this is still a sport, and he vacated the belt to not fight Janibek. Janibek became the champion off the strength of Andrade not wanting to fight him. So fast forward to last night when Janibek doesn't look good at all against Denzel Bentley, has a very pedestrian, you know, trash performance against Denzel Bentley. People want to start giving Andrade credit, and I'm like, well, I ain't no rocket scientist, but didn't Janibek become champion because Andrade decided to drop the belt? And then people say, people have this bullshit excuse, this weak-ass, tired-ass excuse of, oh, well, if he would have beat him, he wouldn't have gotten any credit. But, okay, well, what's he doing right now? What fight does he got lined up right now? Does he have Caleb Plant lined up right now? No. Does he have Dave Benavidez lined up right now? No. You know, so miss me with the bullshit. If Janibek is a hype job, and maybe he is, we don't know. We got to see how his career progresses. If he is a hype job, then that makes Andrade look worse. So you vacated the belt and ducked the hype job, fighting for $0, because you're already saying, oh, well, $150,000 is not a lot of money, but shit, it's $150,000 more than a zero. I'll tell you that much, and it's better than not fighting at all. You know what I'm saying? So beating a hype job, right? Let's just get this out there. If you don't take nothing else from this video, let's get this out there. Beating a hype job. You know, a ESPN media creation, as some of you guys call them. Beating a hype job is better than vacating a belt and doing fuck all. It would have been much better for him to fight Janibek and actually go out there and beat him and let him be the guy. Like, rather, because if he were to come back, let's just say, right, if Andrew were to come back to 60 right now and knock the fuck out of Janibek, who cares? He let Janibek become champion because he didn't want to fight him. He had to let a guy that was a British middleweight champion, and maybe we gotta put some more respect on that British title, but he let a guy who was a middling British club fighter have to actually be the one to, you know, shed the boogeyman label of Janibek. It wasn't him. He didn't do it. He did nothing. So I don't get how some boxing fans and people out there are giving Andrade credit. Andrade didn't do anything. Andrade did the same thing I'm doing right now on this chair when it came to Janibek. He sat on his ass and did nothing. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I like Andrade and I want to see him be the best he could be. But that's what it is. And it seems like we have a lot of people out there that can't be real with themselves. Is Janibek maybe as good as we thought? Maybe he isn't. You know, maybe he isn't. That is a possibility. We got to see how his career develops. You know, last time I checked, he had Denzel Bentley out on his feet for the better half of that 12th round. So he's still dangerous for 12 rounds. So we'll see how his career develops before he jumps to any crazy conclusions. But one thing we do know is that Demetrius, he's WBO champion because of Demetrius Andrade. And yeah, like coming out here and saying that Andrade would have did this and Andrade would have did that. It's like me saying, well, if I was 6'10", I could play power forward for the Charlotte Hornets. It's the same shit, you know. It's like saying like you know, if you know, if I had all this money, I could have got the pretty girl or whatever. You can sit here and you can make up hypotheticals, but the reality is life ain't about hypotheticals. Like, I like Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe's one of my favorite boxers. I got Riddick Bowe all over my wall. He's a personal friend of the channel. I love Riddick Bowe. But Riddick Bowe, like, and I can get into the reasons why the fight didn't happen, but, you know, when we get to the bottom line, the fight didn't happen, and it looked bad on him because he dropped the belt in the trash can. And no matter how much I try to spin that and get my opinion as to why the fight didn't happen, it didn't happen. So I can only defend Riddick Bowe but so much before people go back to him throwing the belt in the trash can. So it's the same shit. I thought Riddick Bowe would have beat Lennox Lewis in '92, but they didn't fight. So I can't, when Lennox Lewis gets knocked out by Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman, I can't sit here and say, oh well, yeah, Riddick Bowe this, Riddick Bowe that. No, he didn't fight him, and it's the same thing. You know, there's plenty of reasons why fights don't happen in boxing, but, you know, if I can be honest with Andre, you know, people are out here running around calling him a hype job, or calling Janibek a hype job, and they have every right to. It's a free country, freedom of speech, and he didn't look that great. Like, he looked like trash, to be honest with you. But were you guys calling Andre a hype job when he had a split decision with Jack Colque? Because if we're saying who is Denzel Bentley, who the fuck is Jack Colque? Were you guys saying that Demetrius Andrade was a hype job when he got dropped by Vanes Martirosyan? Because as bad as Janibek looked last night, as bad as he looked, he didn't get fucking clubbed upside his head, get put on his ass like Andrade did against Vanes Martirosyan. So look, you can be an Andrade fan. I ain't mad at that. I like Andrade. I hope he gets his career straight and he freaking gets the big fights and whatnot, because since that's what he wants and that's what he needs. But he's not really doing anything. And my thing was always, you know, be proactive. Go out there and try to at least stay busy, you know. Being this dude would have actually it would have done more for him than doing what he's doing now, which is nothing. So I'm putting this out there. Denzel Bentley is better than Andrade and Munguia. You want to know why? Because he got in the ring and he fought Janibek. Munguia didn't want to fight for the interim. Andrade didn't want to defend his belt and shut people up that were saying that you know, this guy was the boogeyman. So guess what? We had to rely on little old Denzel Bentley to do it. And shout out to him for putting on a great performance. He's now put himself at that world level, and I hope he doesn't get discouraged by what happens last night and continues to work hard and, you know, fulfill his dreams, because likable guy, you know, he went out there and he fought with every last ounce, every fiber of his being, and I can't do nothing but respect and admire a warrior, a fighter like Denzel Bentley. I could only wish that a guy like Demetrius Andrade, who, yes, is much more talented than Denzel Bentley, I wish that, you know, maybe he believed in himself to have done something like that, you know, rather than doing nothing and not fighting anybody, you know, not fighting anybody. You know, it's getting ridiculous out here that we're here in 2022 and people are still having these illusions of grandeur that, you know, somehow Janibek is the guy in the wrong here because he had an off night against Denzel Bentley. You know, somehow he's in the wrong and he's the hype job. But then, you know, Andre wasn't the hype job when he didn't look so good against Jack Colque. Andre wasn't the hype job when he didn't look so good against Vanes Martirosyan and had to really grind his way through that one. So listen, fighters had these nights. Everyone's had them. We'll see how Janibek responds. And yeah, that's what it is. So, you know, you guys make of that what you will. But Demetrius Andrade did not expose a Janibek. That was Denzel Bentley. So he gets the credit. He shared the boogeyman label. He took him 12 rounds for the first time. He got up on his shit and was fighting him tooth and nail to the very end. You know, he was the guy that showed grit, determination, and gumption. So let's not be out here giving these part-time fighters, you know, because that's what Andrade unfortunately has become, a part-time fighter, a guy that we barely ever see, a guy that doesn't want to fight anymore. And if he's lost his love for the sport, that's my thing. If he's lost his love for the sport, hang him up, man. Like, you got all that talent, but just keep making bad decisions. So, you know, it is what it is. But make of that what you will. You guys can go be accountants. You guys can you know, say Andrade only got offered this and Andrade only got offered that. But Demetrius Andrade is fighting for $0 in 2022. And that's the reality. So 150 ain't a lot. I agree with you guys as far as like him saying like, you know, that is a very low ball offer. It is like not great money, but at the same time, you know, you don't have a leg to stand on, and making $0 ain't better than making 150K. Or, you know, maybe after taxes, maybe 80 or 70K. 70K or 80K is still better than zero, you know? And at least you would have fallen on ESPN and you could have leveraged that opportunity into other things. But, you know, anyway, we beat this like a dead horse. All I'm saying is Demetrius Andrade didn't expose Janibek. That was Denzel Bentley. And saying what he would have did or could have did or should have did against Janibek at this point is relevant. He's WBO champion because of Andrade not wanting to fight him and dropping the belt. He's WBO champion because Andrade, you know, I don't know, man. But anyway, you guys take care.
And I think True School Sports, he's the truth. One of the best the best.
Ooh, the number one.
Number one.
Brandon, you've been there, man, and you're building up a good following with us.
Thank you.
And I'm proud to be a part of what you're doing, too. You are spectacular. And
you know,
thank you, man. All the best to True School Boxing and keep up the good work.